Hello and welcome back to another OmniHeroes video. In this video, hopefully, we're going to clear Abyss 21 through to 40. So let's jump straight in. Now this time we need 3 Avengers. Unfortunately, we've just got a new Avenger, which I would very much like to try out. But it probably won't matter too much in this type of event. So what we'll do is we'll build a pretty standard Avengers team, but in fact we're going to try... In fact, no, we're going to try something completely different. In that we want to do this. So we'll stick these 2 on the front. We will go with Spear. We'll go with Sphere. And we will go with, not Night's Edge, Hand of Tyr. Perfect. Now we need to give 3 synergies. A cool trick, if you've already got Cleo, is you can pop Cleo in, and she will count towards this this level up here, or she should do. I don't know why she's not, which is a bit strange. But we are going to... Where have you gone? We're going to go with this setup. The reason that I'm going to go with this setup is because of the Monarch synergy. So Aphrodite, Albert, and Mavis all have the Monarch synergy in there. The reason I've got Janna in here is because upon death, she'll increase her attack, and she summons in this extra slot. We want the unit in this extra slot to die as quickly as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and give you the Avengers synergy. We'll go ahead and give you the Avengers synergy. And we'll go ahead... Oh! Alright, okay. I didn't realise, but yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. That's nice. And then we'll go ahead and give you the Avengers synergy as well. I think we're going to do one more on this team. We're not going to do Albert. We're going to do Aphrodite, and we will give her the synergy here because she is one of the only units in... or the only D&D units within this setup. So just something to keep in mind. And we'll jump straight in. So we've got our 4 out of 3 Avengers synergy, so we get the damage reduction as well as the Monarchs synergy as well. What you can do if you do have Cleo at 8 stars is you can replace Cleo for Janna, and then you would get the 4 Monarchs as well, 4 Monarch synergy. So just something to keep in mind there as well. And so hopefully we'll finish off one of these enemies, or one of these enemies will finish one of our guys off as well. There we go, perfect. So we get Aphrodite. What she'll do is she will attack and she will steal one of the enemy units. Now what we want to do is we want this Marina to perform her ultimate, and then we want the Marina to die. I know, sounds rough, but is what it is. Perfect. So Sal here, looks like we do get this to pop off, and yeah, very good, very good. Right, okay, so on to the next one, and I think what we'll do is we'll skip through to 25, and we'll just see what the enemy is for that level 25. I don't expect too much resistance from the level 25 boss, but have been known to be wrong in the past, so we'll go ahead and skip through and keep going. If it'll register my click. So it looks like we've got the Plague Bride here on this next one. So we'll just see whether or not these can be stolen. If they can, fantastic. Immune to all damage, but once the enemy performs a basic attack, you'll lose 1 HP. So we want as many basic attacks as possible effectively in order to beat her. Now there is an artifact available. In fact, let's go ahead and just check out the artifacts that are available. Because if you want to get through that stage, but you're having trouble, what I would suggest is... Where's it gone? This one. Oh, no, not this one. Where are you? this one. After triggering a dodge, retaliates with a basic attack against the attacker during battle. So you do want to get that one as quickly as you possibly can. Now, I've still not figured out a way to obtain these artifacts as of yet. Just have a look in Clash Domain. Previously, we would go into the Dragon War, or we would go into... we would go into here, into the battle in the last season against the bosses. But it looks like you need to win the Dragon War in order to go into the Mist Merchant and obtain these artifacts as well. So it looks like we can get one shard for 2,000 here of these particular currency. And we also have 60,000 of these as well. So what I'm going to do is, because we've got 60,000 of this particular currency, I'm going to get the... Where have you gone? The shield. So there's a lot of different ones. So Enigmas by 500%. You know, there's a lot of different ones, but the most consistent that I've found is the Undying Shield. So let's go ahead and get... We're going to pick up the Undying Shield. So we get our 60 copies, get this up to level 1. And then that will perform the basic function that we need it to. Keeps backline allies alive, retaining a minimum of 30% HP as long as at least one frontline enemy is alive. So if we are having trouble, we can always go ahead and pop in Elmer and use that instead. So we will level up here. We'll level up again. And let's look at the rewards this time. So it's the same as last time. So the higher that you get, the more stars you get on each artifact, the higher your level will be. I got to level 39 last time, so I was one star activation off getting the extra 30 or getting the extra 20 relic shards there. So just something to keep in mind. You know, it's, for me, that's the best way to go about it. What do we need here? Hold on. 15. No, I'm not going to do 15. We'll leave that for another time. We'll wait until we see what the next one is, and then we can pop them on as well. Right, okay, so I think we should be good with this. I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to get the other one, but we will put in the spear here. Sorry, the Undying Shield, just so that we've got a bit of protection. So this frontline team will survive, hopefully, for long enough. So that the backline team can do enough damage. So let's go ahead here and see whether or not Aphrodite can steal one of the enemy units. She cannot, so it is ineffective against these boss units. So just something to keep in mind there. Now we'll get 5 off in this one, and we'll just see how much that does take off. Okay, so there's all 5, and it looks like it's taken off a third. So it looks like we're going to need to get to around sort of 8 before we can take down the shields for this boss. Now, if we are struggling, if we really are struggling against this boss, what we can do is we can go and put the Chessis in instead. So we can go ahead, take out Aphrodite, because she's not doing very much here. She's not performing the function that we needed to perform. And we can put in Chessis. Now, what Chessis would do, you see the stack of 25 Holy Shield here? Well, that stack would get immediately removed as well. So just something to keep in mind. That is how you can do it. So you see it's gone up to 35 stacks of Holy Shield here, just above the boss's health bar. You can see we're not going to get through that shield without somebody removing it. So, for example, Audrey would do it, Catherine would do it, Katrina would do it, Chessis would do it as well. So it looks like we're pretty close to beating him. We just need one more basic attack. But because we're not getting the dodges in, it's making it much more difficult for us. Fortunately, we are able to go for long enough on this one that we're able to take down this boss without too much of an issue, because we're not having too much damage dealt to us either. So just something to keep in mind. Boss now up to 52 stacks of Holy Shield, now down to 48, but again, we're not going to get that down through normal means. We do need to remove all buffs from all enemies in order to remove that Holy Shield, and it would have been a much much quicker fight. But it is what it is. So we'll do our basic attacks now. And there we go. And then the holy shields are down, and we can start doing a lot of damage. Fortunately, Aphrodite does trigger every time an enemy dies, so we'll get a minimum of 4 ultimate attacks here. Which looks like she has done what she needs to do. And we can go ahead and we can effectively skip these next couple. So we'll get up to 30, and then we'll watch that fight through. And then we'll just have a look on what the next team will be. So we go up to stage 30. We still require the Avengers, but this is Gwyn. So Gwyn, typically, you would run Helios or Bastet, but I think Helios in this instance would probably be the best option for you. But again, I don't foresee there being too much of an issue with this. But we will have to see. And what we really want to do is steal that Dorabella. Perfect. So this will trigger Aphrodite. And then we'll get Themis. Perfect. So Themis is going to die reasonably quickly. Yeah, as you can see, we're not doing altogether too much damage to them. Sal boosting up his own attack here. And Albert putting in the work as well. And I think Katrina's next on the chopping block. As Themis is going to perform a basic attack, of course. Not going down. Still got quite a bit of health there. Quite fortunate for us. And there we go. So that's stage 30. Now we need ethereal synergy. So we'll remove all of you. And we'll go and build an ethereals team. So we want our 3 protectors, Eudora, and then we can put Cleo in as well. Where have you gone? So we've got our protectors, and we have Cleo. If Cleo was an 8-star unit, then she would also gain the protector's synergy. So just something to keep in mind there. I quite enjoy the protector synergy, although it is relatively weak compared to the other synergies. For me, it's just a bit of fun and can keep you alive. Nowhere near as good as the Monarch synergy is, but again. And then we're going to go for Demon Blade Whip here, because it additionally increases HP of all allies for 2 rounds. And Sanctuary, in fact, we don't need Sanctuary, but we also don't really confuse the enemy. So we'll go ahead and save, and what we can do is take out Cleo, we'll put Master in, and then we need to choose 3. So we'll choose Wukong, because he's got one of the other synergies, one of the new seasonal synergies, the Enigmas. And then we will go ahead and pick Eudora, get her seasonal synergy. I will be getting all of the seasonal synergies for these units eventually, but for now we're just going to prioritize top 3, and I think in fact probably Karnak for me. Just because I've got him at the highest star level, because he's 12 stars. So it is what it is. And then we can put in scales, just because we want the 10% damage reduction, and the damage split among all of our allies as well. The reason that I'm putting Master in is he links up Enchanter synergy, as well as the Deviant synergy for Wukong as well. So just something to keep in mind there. Perfect. They don't seem to be able to get through our health, our shield. So we can potentially take 0 damage in this with this setup. There we go, Eudora popping off twice. No double ultimate is nice this time round. Or triple or quadruple. And we get the switch. Yeah, and Wukong not hitting nearly as hard as last season. The damage buffs really were something else with that unit. He was kicking ass and taking names all about the place. But this season, he seems to be doing okay damage. He's still outputted more damage than Eudora, to be fair. And Eudora's full red runes, full DPS red runes, and my Wukong is not. Just something to keep in mind. He is outputting more damage. So go ahead, we can skip this one. Yep, so in round 2, absolutely fine. Katrina doing the most damage again, very consistently doing the most damage on the Ethereal's team. She always has done. She always has done for me. I do have her at 15 stars with red runes as well. So this is my Katrina. Here's the gear that she's using. I'm very close to getting full levels for the refinement. So I'm nearly up to 30 for each of them. And we're up to stage 1 of this for the gear wise. I'm very close to awakening her. I'm just 1 copy off awakening her. But she does work. She does work on these teams. It's really, really, really important that you do level your Katrina up. Because look, she's still very relevant in later gameplay. Now, Bind can be a real pain. You can use Victoria, but Karnak is the best for it because he does have... so him and Victoria have the highest speed for removing binds. The only other person, or the only other unit I would suggest is Lee. Now, this hasn't been updated, so it doesn't show that Lee does... it doesn't show that Lee removes bind, but he definitely does. I think he's a little bit faster, or he's got basically exactly the same speed as Karnak, Ophelia, and who else as well. So Eudora's bound there, so we don't get the trigger, but we will hopefully see Sal go down and the rest of them go down as well. So we'll take that. Again, removing that bind trigger, really important for the team. Now this reflect damage might be a bit of a problem, but we'll just have to see. Maybe we can go ahead, skip this one. Yeah, so round 2, Katrina takes them all down as per usual. This one's a bit harder. You've got the Phantom synergy running along the back, so you've got Minotaur, you've got Ayushta and Sylvan as well, who are all Phantoms. You do have the 2 stapled at the front as well, Merlin and Athena. Very good tanks, both of them, especially when Merlin's Monarch synergy is up. But we don't have his Monarch synergy up in this one, so I think we can go ahead, safely skip this one. Yep, so it's round 3. Because of that Phantom synergy, we just needed to do a bit more damage than we normally would. Now this one, very difficult because of Telenas. What she'll do is she'll stun the entire team. Or she'll stun our entire team on her second attack, which is why removing debuffs from her is the most important aspect of that. So if you can remove all of her debuffs, then she won't stun your team. So just something to ponder over here. Now, Talos here, we have got Katrina on our team. There are many other Holy Shield removers, but in this instance, I think we should be absolutely fine, as Katrina is the one doing the most damage. So we'll see, as you can see, they had holy shields. Wukong as well, funny enough, removes holy shields, which is why we've just seen it here. So Talos at the end of this round should apply, or at the start of next round, should apply, yeah, there we go, the stacks of Holy Shield on our enemies. Wukong here, whenever he takes action, will remove it. So he is the quickest out of everybody to remove that Holy Shield. So very good for Celestial Trials. If you're struggling against the Talos boss, or the Talos Mercenary, who does provide that. Now we get Wukong to trigger, but again, not doing anywhere near as much damage as we've seen him do previously in the last season. And again, it's because of that seasonal buff. Now, I was saying that last time, he is still putting in fair amounts of damage. He's still outdoing Eudora damage-wise. But again, it is primarily thanks to Katrina that we're getting through these stages so quickly. So we'll go ahead, claim our goodies, and that is it. So that's stages 20 to 40 completed. We'll leave it there. If you can like and subscribe, it'd be really appreciated, and I would just like to thank you for watching all the way through to the end. It's the best thing that you can do for the channel. So hope you have a great day.